Hey, are you listening? RedMaster merch, now official. Down in the description below, go ahead and follow that link if you want to buy yourself some RedMaster merch. Hey guys, what's going on? RedMaster here, and welcome back to an episode of Cards and Castles TV commentary, where we're just gonna jump right into the matches. But before we do that, I just want to remind you guys that I am planning a Twitch stream, hopefully within the next week. Give yourself a little break from world events. So if you want to stop on by, you can go follow the link to the Twitch channel in the description. It's most likely where it will be happening. So yeah, go ahead, follow that, and hope to see you at the stream. But for now, let's go ahead and jump into these matches. Alright, so our first one is going to be Aztec Fury taking on SuperTmort. We got a Crusader Warlock going up against a Crusader Viking. Let's go ahead and see what both players have. I'm thinking maybe Last Will from Aztec. I mean, yellow-red is no stranger to that. Mort, I don't think it's War Party. I see Earth Knight in his hand, and that usually doesn't happen with War Party, so we'll see. We'll see. But starting things off as a Lumberjack on Aztec side, Morton actually throwing out that Earth Knight, as we just saw. Aztec responding with Dwarven Miner, seeing if maybe he can get rid of that Earth Knight with a combination of Miner and Lumberjack, although Mort's going to go ahead and place down the preemptive Minotaur, which does pay off. Lumberjack will activate it, meaning that Miner's not going to be enough to clean up this Earth Knight. How does Aztec respond? He's going to Medallion into a Demonic Rage, so he does get rid of it, but at a hefty price. Which, you know, that might have been just throwing away his win condition right there, so we'll see. Mort going to bring out the Armory, alright, nothing else that he can really do. I mean, he could have gone for the Rider Dragon Crest Shield, but I think the Armory is a bit better. Aztec brings out the Pyromancer and Lumberjack in response, so maybe he's going to try and get rid of this Armory. We'll see a Salahar Rider come out now to not really block, but just, I guess, preemptive elimination for the Lumberjack, excuse me. We do see a Cleric come out as well, so that could be a bit problematic, since nothing else is really damaged. Paladin, though, comes out from Mort, so we get a little heal going on. Alright, fair enough. Plus the Dragon Crest Shield, so Mort's going to try and maybe draw some cards off of this Paladin. He knows it's going to get hit by maybe Pyromancer, which it does, maybe Cleric as well. So we'll see how that goes. Flamestorm will take out the Salahar Rider, though. Pyromancer gets a little weakened. Don't mind my mouse. Tarius Files comes out. Cleric gonna go ahead and trade with the Paladin as well, giving the heal back to the castle and passing it back to Mort. Mort's gonna go with the Genevieve here. Alright. Not gonna eliminate the Tarius Files, but instead looking to, I guess, rush up front a little bit there. We do see the Swordsman come out from Aztec in response to that. He wants to maybe get in very close to the castle here and do some big damage. The Luminaris, and smartly placed too to avoid the Tarius Files destruction there, will eliminate the Swordsman. Lumberjack going to come out as well, just to, I guess, back up the Genevieve. Aztec, though, with a very smart Flamestorm, not only taking out the Lumberjack and Armory, but destroying his own Tarius Files, so getting him those extra 2 cards. Will he be able to eliminate Genevieve, though? I don't think so. I mean, he could. White Knight is not going to be enough to do that, though, so he will weaken Genevieve severely, but not enough to really put the exclamation point on the match. Mort going to go ahead and bring out the Swordsman and Priest in response, so not really focusing on destroying the White Knight, but instead actually focusing a little bit more on the castle, put some pressure on Aztec. We'll see how Aztec responds. He brings out a Luminaris of his own, alright, so that will weaken the Swordsman a little bit. Flamestorm doesn't kill Genevieve thanks to the Resolve. I believe that's the right word. Swordsman does get taken out, though, but that's okay. Mort still has that Genevieve on castle. Gonna go ahead and throw out a Paladin and Armory as well, actually, to really put the exclamation point on it. So not only does Aztec have to kind of push away these 2 units, but maybe has to clear the Armory as well to win the game, but it's not going to be enough. Dragon's Fire, Salahar Rider needs to connect onto the Paladin here, which it doesn't for the Blaze, but even then, the Blaze wouldn't have been enough since Paladin's Resolve still activates. So this match does go to Mort. I believe he ends it, right? Or, okay, Aztec's going to surrender, but regardless, that is still a win for Mort. Very nicely done. I'm actually curious on whether his deck was a blue-yellow Knight focus. We did see things like Swordsman, Genevieve, Paladin, Luminaris, things that, you know, normally you'd run, again, in a more Knight-focused environment, so Yeah, very excited to see that deck take the win here. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into match number 2 and see what else is in store for us. Okay, so the second match is going to be, I believe it's Liu? Again, sorry for butchering that. Taking on Drowinger, so a Warlock Viking going up against a Warlock Pirate. We'll see which players have up their sleeves. Liu's going to start out with the Lumberjack, very standard play, nothing too unusual there. Drowinger does not have an answer to that, so we'll just pass it back. We'll see Liu throw out the Warrior in response. Our mouse is going to make an appearance again. Fantastic. Not charging the Lumberjack, however. Going to keep that back, so, alright, fair enough. Elvish Thief comes out. Could be a nice takeout for Warrior there, actually. Salha Rider going strongly up to avoid the Thunderstrike of the Warrior. So Leo actually going to go ahead and get the Elvish Thief kill, giving Drowinger that extra gold, and instead playing another Warrior Lumberjack combination. He is being quite aggressive here with his hand, only down to 2 cards left in that hand. Meanwhile, Drowinger going to bring out the White Knight, which could be a little scary. You know, Leo doesn't have a lot of options right now in that hand of his. He's going to go ahead and play the Armory, though. Alright, maybe trying to, I guess, give his guys a little buff. We'll see what happens. Dwarven Scope on the White Knight could make things dangerous for Liu going into the matchup here, but double Storm Strike from Liu. Liu? I feel like I'm going to butcher this name. Jesus. Double Storm Strike is actually going to be enough to kill the White Knight before the lifesteal procs, and of course, going to go ahead and respond with the Hassan City Guards as well to keep things aggressive. Onslaught onto that Warrior, going to finish it off, but costing most of the gold for the turn. Rider going to come down and block that castle. What will the guards do? Alright, one guard going to trade with the Rider, gives off a Lumberjack kill. Alright, will we see the Shaman or Wraith get played? We will see Shaman for draw. Makes sense. We'll see him get a bit more aggressive too. He wants the castle damage. We'll see Vampire come out. That will kill off the Hassan City Guard. Not giving him the full lifesteal, but maybe weakening him enough. If Liu could draw maybe a Chain, which he does have Rune Warrior, but that's not enough. So Rune Warrior actually going to come out and look to engage that Vampire directly. Shaman just taking I guess, sidelines for now. Mercenary Execution, though, going to finish off the Rune Warrior. Okay, maybe a little bit of a waste of the execution, but maybe Drowinger doesn't really have a good response to it. Prompts Wraith to come out, though, looking to, I guess, hit the castle. Again, Shaman and Gar going to back him up. Gar gets killed off by Dragon's Fire, everything else gets weakened. Armor gets taken out by the Headless Horseman. That's a nice little initiative proc of damage there. What is Liu going to do in response? Looks like he's going to Wind of the Ice Sea. Alright, so Shaman and Wraith, I believe, is a combination going to take that down. It's going to be just enough to take him out. Meanwhile, Magmasaur, I believe, gets set up, it looks like. Right? And, again, smartly keeping it away from the Headless Horseman. Darkbender from Drowinger, though, looks like he's going to start making an appearance. Necromancer going to go ahead and buff the Headless Horseman. Alright, so maybe more of an undead-focused deck from Drowinger now that we see the Necromancer in there. Magmasaur, Pyromancer, looking to get near the castle. Wraith going to go ahead and chill back there, I suppose. Unholy Altar from Drowinger, going to set that up now, followed by a Flame Prince and Armory. Alright, that could be a little scary going forward. But Liu draws the Combustion, which actually I believes gets used much later. Ragnar, though, going to take the front and center stage. That's going to be a problem for Drowinger. He doesn't really have a good answer to that. And we'll see actually right here, I think this is a really nice way to end the game. Which is a spoiler, by the way. But regardless, Lumberjack comes in, Combustion onto all the units. Lumberjack goes ahead and trades with the Horseman. Enough to kill it with the Combustion Flames there, as you can see. Pyromancer going to go ahead and follow up with an Explosion. And I like this because the Combustion actually triggers on both Necromancer and Flame Prince, so both of those are going to be taken out. And then Fencer gets pushed back enough for the Ragnar to take effect here. So not only does he have the Combustion, but now he's putting on a Sheep to the Slaughter, which is going to do a crazy amount of damage, just enough actually to end the game. I think that was a really cool way to just end it right there. You know, it's kind of like that burst of damage. I think this deck was actually more of like based on the Fear Chain, except taking it in a completely different direction with Ragnar and Combustion. I do really like those explosive elements into the deck. They do provide like a bit of a, oh shit, what the hell is happening kind of effect for opponents. Because, you know, they don't really expect the Ragnar, but when they see Combustion, and, you know, things like Thunderstrike, Sheep to the Slaughter, crazy damage potential there. So I did like that, but we do have one more match to get to before this video ends. So let's go ahead and jump right into that one. Alright, so the last one is going to be Jimba taking on ChaCha. I'm going to try to do this one justice, just because Jimba was the one who actually came to me with this match, and you'll understand once we get things going here. But let's go ahead and start off. We got a Viking Crusader that is not War Party, thankfully, taking on a Warlock Viking. So kind of the winners, the symbolic winners of the previous two matches going up against each other here in sort of a nice way to see who's going to come out on top here. So let's go ahead and see what goes down. We've got Jimba starting off with the Lumberjack. Okay, that's pretty standard, nothing too scary there. ChaCha is going to medallion out the mischievous imp in response. And it's probably, of course, putting it off to the side to avoid any sort of lumberjack kill. So we'll see what ChaCha burn land on. ChaCha's burn from the imp lands on the lumberjack. Had to English there for a quick second. And of course, ChaCha reinforces his board with the lumberjack. It's fine. We'll see how Jimba's able to respond. He brings out a flying books, of course, positioning it down to avoid that mischievous imp trait. Doesn't kind of want that. Although ChaCha's going to immediately burn that off. Does not want Jimba to get any sort of additional draw here. And I think ChaCha, again, he might think that Jimba is running a War Party deck here, so he might be nervous of draw. Jimba going to go ahead, though, freezing pillar the imp and put himself in a little bit of a disposition here with that spawn point being blocked off. Spear Strike from the Lumberjack going to do a big 6 damage, so passing it back to Jimba. Game now 11 to 20. Jimba a Divine Knowledge out here, and he is in trouble, but that Hassan City Guard will save him. He will pop both the Lumberjack and the Mischievous Imp without losing either guard, thanks to Imp being frozen and Lumberjack not strong enough to remove all of guard's health. And throwing it back to ChaCha, he's going to respond by simply rallying the town. Alright, fair enough. That could mean that he's got a reanimate planned. I mean, those peasants could all die in one turn, and of course proc a big reanimate play. But we'll see what happens. Jimba going to go ahead and just set up a temple and leave it at that. So now he wants to establish a chain. He really doesn't actually have anything else to do in this hand of his. So like temple was his best option, I think. Meanwhile, Jimba going to go ahead and play the swordsman to try and clear out a couple of these peasants, or maybe not. For now, anyway. I think that might be the end goal, but for now, kind of keeping them away. A second rally out of ChaCha now, and he did place the armory to the turn before, so now a bunch of buffed peasants here. We'll see Jimba simply go for the priest play and hand to the saint to kind of bring his castle back up into this match, which is smart. You don't want to get caught, having to heal later on in sudden death, and obviously not having enough resources to do so. So ChaCha provides another armory to the board, which means both of his, or at least two of his peasants, will take out one of the swordsmen that's in Jimba's board, and actually procs his first reanimate, which will get him a wraith and horseman. One of those horsemen eliminating a Hassan City Guard from Jimba, so Jimba losing his reanimate food there, so that's kind of unfortunate. Jimba's going to Cloak of Ice, which kind of shows that he's not really in a great position if he had to Cloak of Ice such a weak unit like Hassan City Guard. And that's going to, that's kind of a bit of a waste of the Cloak of Ice, but regardless, ChaCha going to pulverize the Temple of the Five Gods, so negating the chain there. We do see Sheep of the Slaughter come out from ChaCha's onto his Headless Horseman, and of course hitting with the swordsman with Peasant to make sure that Horseman gets that kill, and it sets him up really nicely for later on in this match, and we'll see how Jimba has to, respond to this. He thankfully does pull a Yenaroth, which will buy him some time there, so Yenaroth comes out. I assume he's going to kill the Horseman, which would be a move to make, but he actually doesn't. Which, okay, he might be having some chain thoughts, maybe. He does have Temple in his hand after all. Windmage's going to go ahead and push those units back, though, real quick, followed up by Keeper of the Doorway. We'll see if Jimba goes ahead and plays the Temple now, or saves it for later. He does play the Lumberjack on the Headless Horseman there. Does pull off a Mystic Freeze, okay, brings out the Craxus to kill off the Horseman instead. Alright, makes sense there. You get some draw going. Gets another Mystic Journey for potentially a additional Yenaroth freeze. Goes for the Wraith hit, but of course not going to be enough to kill it. I think he's setting up Yenaroth to be a reanimate target, potentially with that strike. We do see a Mordok come out, buffed by both armories to survive a Craxus trade. Brings out a Banshee. Alright, so Jimba's not really looking too good now. We do bring out a Lumberjack, which will connect with that Banshee real quick to get him some draw. Hassan City Guard to follow up with that, so I think he wants to pull off a reanimate here, if I imagine correctly. Yep, he does connect the Yenaroth to the Wraith, And there's the reanimate play, so he gets 4 additional units there. One Banshee connects with the ChaCha's Banshee, so it gives him a Shadow Slip. I just missed what ChaCha got from that. Unfortunate, but we'll see what happens now. ChaCha has pretty much control of the board here, I think. One of the peasants taking out the Freezing Pillar from, way earlier in the matchup here. Dino Rider coming out, Keepers of Doorways, at least another one, as the first one advances with the peasant. And Jimba, again, really not looking too strong here. He does pull a Lich, but I don't think that's going to be enough at this moment. He does pull a Grotesque Offering from a Banshee, which he will use on his other additional Banshee to get him some draw, which I think he's just looking for cards right now to help him out here. And he does pull the Rat King, which will help him a little bit here. Pulls the Temple of the Five Gods out. That means, of course, the Wraith going to go ahead, chain back that Keeper, and connect all of that chain. Rat going ahead, trading with the Peasant. He's keeping the Rat King, I think, for the Mystic Journey. That's important. He could have had a better chain interaction right here, if you could see. Since he feared back the Keeper of the Doorway, that top Rat could have come in and hit the Keeper again and made a whole lot of chain. It would have given ChaCha another undead unit, so maybe that was a factor in not doing the play. But he also has a Mystic Journey, which I think is more important. He wants to keep the Rat King alive, so that way he can spawn in a bunch of chain rats and completely destroy all of what ChaCha has set up here. And we'll see if he's able to accomplish that. The Keeper is able to smack the Rat King. We'll see a Fear onto one of those rats right there. Dino Rider going to clear the way for Mordok to come in and take a strike at the castle, generating another undead unit as soon as this Keeper connects and kills the Wraith. Yep, just like that. And, of course, moving his units out of the way to avoid the Fear chain. And, of course, Mordok taking the strike, generating Banshee. Of course, peasants are going to go ahead clean up some of these rats as well. Banshee taking a big strike. Headless Horseman doing another castle hit for 3. And if the Horseman connects, it does not, so the game is still on. If that Horseman connected to the castle, it would have been over for Jimba, unfortunately. He does draw another Rat King, though, so we'll see if he's able to use this one with the Mystic Journey in, a combination move to kind of destroy his board here. And you also see he's able to do that. He sacrifices that the first Rat King spawn to generate a more valuable second one, as you can see there from the Mystic Journey. He's going to take out the Blacksmith, connects to a big chain there, taking out all the armories, which weakens all these units, and even kills some of them too, so that way he doesn't have to waste the rats to kill. We'll see, yep, a couple of these rats kill off the Dino Rider. Hand to the Saint, healing up the castle, of course, remembering to stay in the match. And, of course, Drake Dan's going to go ahead and push the Rat King forward, going to go ahead and chain over to the Peasant, which connects and kills the Horseman. And Jimba has immediately cleaned up this board. And that's what I like. That's what I like about his play there. It just went from, a one-sided beatdown from ChaCha to a very even game in a matter of a turn. And the fact that that was able to happen was thanks to Rat King Mystic Journey. Very deadly combo when it comes out and hits you. Probably one of the more underutilized ones in the game. Currently, not a lot of people have the Rat Kings, I think, to make that move work. But when you do pull off the Rat King Mystic Journey, it's scary as hell. So, of course, let's keep going, though, with the match. We still have more match to play here. ChaCha can make a comeback. He has, as many cards as Jimba does here. Horseman connects to additional 3 damage on the castle. Tunnel Escape comes out. Alright, fair enough. We got some more miners running in. A bit aggressively here, because I think ChaCha now is a little annoyed that his entire setup was completely just trashed there. We do see Ninja Training come out from Jimba. I think that was one of the Banshee pulls from earlier. Lich comes out. He's going to freeze off one of the miners. Actually, make that 2 of the miners. He will use the Lich to clear off one of those frozen miners here. Brings out a guard as well. Shadow Slips all of the units, so of course guards now are going to multiply from 2 to 4. And the Lich can come back out and freeze the Horseman and the Miner. Smart use of the Shadow Slip. I think that was a very wise decision there. And of course the Sun City guards are going to keep doing their thing. Yep, just like that. And then we're going to throw it back to ChaCha, who is a bit vulnerable to chain here, I would think. He's not able to move those 2 units. He's going to try, I think, and eliminate the Temple of the Five Gods, right? Yeah, double blue fire to try and prevent a lot of this damage that's going to come through here. And he'll throw out a Dark Bender with the remaining gold, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. We do see the Lightning Blade in Jimba's hand, and that's going to get some crazy value. Drake Dance pushes everything forward a little bit there, and there we see the Lightning Blade come in. Connects to the Miner. He's not too worried about the Dark Bender. He had the opportunity to eliminate the Dark Bender there, but I think he's just more focused on castle damage and tying things up, just like that. Which leads to ChaCha, of course, taking the wheel again, and Grendel, I guess, could be the... okay. Alright. In fairness, I believe Jimba mentioned that he actually wants this Grendel to die, and that'll happen momentarily, but I forgot the main reason. He told me this yesterday, but I don't remember why he threw out. I know he wanted to get killed off for some reason, but I don't know like what the end goal was. It. As I'm looking at the Grendel now, it's like, what was the reason? Anyway, I'm blanking on the reason. Anyway, rally from Jimba gonna go ahead and take out a couple of the guards that are over here. I guess any of the ones that can threaten castle, really. Flame Shield onto the Darkbender. Alright, fair enough. Plus Kunai, so that's gonna be enough to kill off the Grendel, which, of course, Jimba's goal was to succeed there. Grendel will get removed. Disintegrate onto the guard. And, of course, that does end turn back to Jimba. And here's where Jimba's quick thinking kind of saves him here. He goes for the Dragon Knight play, right? But then immediately launches the Freezing Pillar into that that sort of line of units right there. And the reason why this works out so well, the Inferno from the Darkbender from Flame Shield starts kicking in. And actually, if ChaCha can't heal here, which right now he can, he's in blue-red, that is the game. So, yeah, I got to give it up to Jimba for that quick thinking. Not only the quick thinking Freezing Pillar win there, but also the way he kind of cleared out that entire board from ChaCha. It was a fun match to watch. It really was. And I think... he utilized some very sort of how can I put this? I wouldn't say like, well, I mean, he utilized underutilized combinations there. I mean, the Racking Mystic Journey. He used that Freezing Pillar to kind of use the Inferno against ChaCha, so I think that was nice as well. Overall, just some great plays. Although I think he will, and I will admit his opening bouts were a bit of a like struggle. At least the opening turns, really, actually, not the bout. The opening turns were a bit challenging for him, but I mean, it paid off for him in the end. He was able to kind of, keep pushing on. That's why I don't say to you guys, never kind of just give up a match if you're in a tough spot. Not unless you know there's no way that you could possibly win, because you could always come back with things like this. So, but regardless, a great match to end off this edition of TV commentary for sure. Alright folks, with that being said, I hope you did enjoy this edition of TV Commentary. If you did, let me know by leaving your thoughts down in the comment section below, giving the like to the video if you enjoyed it, and of course, sharing with your friends and subscribing if you haven't done so already. Best way to support the channel is by clicking that subscribe button at no additional cost to you. And yeah, with that being said, pick up some merch, follow the link in the description for that, and follow the Twitch channel as well for a stream in the future. So until next time, stay gaming.